Very pleased to be joined on the line right now by the new assistant coach and assistant GM for the Merritt Centennials. We've got Joe Martin with us. Joe, first off, thanks for taking the time to chat here this morning.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So just announced the hiring late last week, the fact that you're going to be here in Merritt in an assistant coaching role. How did this come about for you?
Just getting to know, I guess, Luke a little bit over the time or over the spring, getting to know that he had a position that he wanted to fill this year. And I think Luke and I trust the same people in hockey, bouncing ideas off them and that kind of stuff. And just in a roundabout way, it came to be, really.
Now, when I asked Luke about your hiring, he mentioned that it was sort of a situation where he was looking at some specific people to fill this role as an assistant coach and assistant GM. You just recently signed an extension in Creston. So did you know that you might be on the radar here for a job in junior A hockey?
I thought that I might have been, but I wasn't sure. And I wanted to make sure that we had, Caitlin and I had something to go back to in Creston. And we thought about moving away from Creston. We had long talks with the team about contract extension, about what we wanted to do. And the team was very, they were okay with us pursuing other options, just looking around, really. And then we felt comfortable going back to Creston. And then all of a sudden this came up and changed our minds.
So for fans in Merritt that don't know a lot about you, what would you say that your coaching style is?
I think that my coaching style is hard work. Obviously, is one of the biggest things that we expect from the players that I've coached. Respectful players, guys that respect the game, respect officials, and usually they showcase their talents by hard work. But I think there's going to be a lot of similarities between Luke and I, and I think that's why, hopefully why we're a good fit on coaching together, and why I can compliment the way he coaches, and that's by getting character kids and showing them kind of what it's like to be a character person, and hopefully that the Merritt fans enjoy that.
Do you think that it's that makeup of a player character off the ice that contributes to success on the ice?
Definitely, I do. I do, because it's a team game, and there's a lot of individuals in hockey, and there's a lot of individuals that will do well in hockey, but they'll do well as an individual, and their team might go, pretty far in regular season. They might do some damage in the playoffs, but they won't win a championship. Very rarely will they win a championship. But those guys, you need to have a bunch of character kids and grown men doing it. And prime examples right now with two teams in the playoffs. Not the Vancouver Canucks and the Boston Bruins, and the Sedins took them forever to wake up and play hockey. And they were never selfish players, but then took them forever to wake up, and the rest of the team carried them because they believed in the fact that they could. And that's the type of team that I always wanted to coach, and I was quite lucky the last couple of years in Creston to coach a team like that. And that's the type of team that we're looking to put together.
Now, when it comes to making the move to Junior A, obviously you've moved a number of players onto this level over the years, 10 during your time there in Creston, and 10 onto to college hockey as well. Again, do you fit into that philosophy that it seems like Luke's got, where it comes down to best opportunity for the players and moving them on to the next level, and again, within that comes team success?
It does. I think that I found in Junior B and in Creston, which isn't, there's a lot of parallels between Creston and Merritt, and I think it's not when Luke took over and when I took over Creston, it wasn't the number one destination for a junior hockey player. And it still might not be the number one destination, but it's up there now. And people respect the fact what Luke does there. They respect the fact that what we did in Creston. And when you work hard for players by showing them that you'll do whatever it takes, and you're working the phones and getting them to the next level, because that's what every kid wants. When you do that for a kid, that kid will do his, work hard for you. And when that kid works hard for you, it's not only in the season, but it's in the off season when he tells his good friends that are good players, or spreads the word that Creston's a great place to be, and Merritt's a great place to be. That's what you want. And if you can, like I said, if you're working hard for those kids, they'll work hard for you in return, and that pays off huge.
And from being outside the Centennials organization to this point, and obviously you've been in Creston for 4 years, so you hear what happens when you're moving kids on to the other level and that kind of thing. That respect, is that building about the Centennials organization right now outside of the BCHL?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there's been players that have moved up from our level and from midget and in BC, and there's coaching staff that I've talked to at a couple different levels that respect the fact that Merritt has been one of the hardest working teams for 2 years, and that's a great compliment to have. And it's something that I'm talking to guys this year in the BCHL, guys that are scouts or coaches or whomever, and they're saying that this could be Merritt's best year in a long time. I don't even know when they would compare it to.
Right.
The players that they have come back, the potential of the players come back, what Luke's brought to now. There's a lot of good things going into this year. A lot of things still still need to fall in place for a good, successful season to happen. But there's definitely a lot of talk out there amongst the levels, our level, and many levels, about the respect that people have for Merritt.
Is that kind of what's exciting for you when you look at the returnees and the potential and what you can bring to the table, the fact that there could be an explosion of success here with this year's Centennial squad? Yeah,
it is. It does. It is exciting for me to look at that and have a lot of players coming back. And if I was in a first-year job and, we're out there recruiting and trying to replace 10 guys, that's quite, it can be daunting, and it's tough off season when you're doing that. And you really, you'll find the right guys and you'll get some good players for sure. But it takes a while for them to kind of to grow in Merritt. It doesn't just happen overnight. And to be in a situation like this where you're making just small changes to players, not drastic changes, not showing them a whole program, that's something that's going to be quite enjoyable.
Obviously, coming into this situation, you had a peek at what the Centennials have in terms of a roster. What do you know about the team?
The only player on the team that I've actually coached in Creston was Sean Mactac, so he's a player that I know, personally, coaching him for 2 years in Creston. But what I know about the team is I haven't had a chance to watch the team myself. When you're coaching in junior hockey, everyone coaches on the same nights. So usually you don't get to see each other play.
Right.
But what I know of the team is what I talk to, friends and the BCHL and friends in the KI. Just the fact that they're a hardworking team. Who the top players are. Lots of people have mentioned Vallis and his knack for scoring, and Wilcox on defense. Obviously, I know Marshall. He played in the league. I knew a couple. There's an ex-couple Princeton posse that have played on the team.
Chad Breers and Evan Stack and those guys. Yeah,
I know Stacker. I know Stacker quite well. Actually, we recruited Stacker in Creston too, and it came down to make a decision, and it was a good decision for him to go to Princeton. Obviously, because now he's going to be a even bigger chip this year on in Merritt. And there's players that I know that have a lot of talent. But what I like about that team is a lot of the players that I mentioned, and I'm sure there's more, is that they're not one-dimensional players. From what I remember, they do a lot of good things on both ends of the ice, and that's great. It saves a lot of coaching time teaching, so that's nice for us to have. There's hopefully a couple new recruits coming in that are going to be top-end guys, and I know he's got potential of 2 goalies coming back that may be the best, one of the top duos in the league, which is great. I know Steele, I don't know Lino.
Right.
So I've seen a lot of the kids play. Basically 2 years ago though. So yeah. I haven't seen them develop in 2 years, and there's quite a change a hockey player can do in 2 years if they got the right coaching and the right system.
Absolutely. All right. Well, you know what, Joe? I appreciate you taking the time to do this. I wish we had more time to chat, but before I let you run, anything else that you wanted to add to the fans here in Merritt?
Just excited to be there, and hopefully we can get an early start this year with everyone that's coming back, and get out there in the community and support the community in their events as well, and look